And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I would have never, I was like so shocked. And everyone I told this story to, like all my friends and stuff, they're so surprised because you never know with this plant medicine who it's calling. I went to Costa Rica, did plant medicine, ran a retreat out there. We have amazing shaman out there. I had something crazy happen. I mean, this is like a whole story in of itself, and I'll probably do a whole podcast episode on this. But basically what happened is some things opened up to where I went to Costa Rica, 3 days of plant medicine, 2 nights of ayahuasca, 1 day of wachuma. These plant medicine retreats we do are just amazing. We bring in some of the best shaman that have been doing it for 20, 30 years. It's such a sacred, intimate group. It's normally about 30 people. We have this amazing retreat center that we booked the whole thing out. So we have our, whole bunch of people coming in for that. And it's just always amazing. We do them normally twice a year. The next one's going to be November. They book up super fast. If you guys want to be the first dibs or no, because when we like promote it, it sells out in like a day or two, and we get hundreds of applications and we can only pick, 30 people to go. So there is a wait list. If you go to aarondoughty.com/Costa Rica retreats. So Costa Rica, COSTA retreats, RET. How you spell retreats? RETREATS. You can sign up and get notified as to when the next one is and be one of the first to apply. But anyways, basically what happened, this is kind of vulnerable to share, but I'll share this because I think it will just share some. I think it's really cool. This last trip, I became aware of so many things that were in my subconscious that I was unaware of. One of them was this like abandonment wound that I have, where I was afraid and in a way kind of have this mother wound where I thought it stemmed from my ex-stepmom. But I realized then that it actually came from prior to that, from when I was young, from when my brother was born. So basically when I was 3 years old, my brother was born. And when he was born, I felt like all the attention shifted from me to my brother because my brother was like a very high maintenance kid. He was always in the hospital. He had a lot of things going on with him health-wise. So all the attention shifted to him. And when it did, I felt alone. I felt unworthy. I felt like I didn't matter. And I remember my dad and my mom telling me, "You were such an easy kid. You're such an easy kid. You never, my brother Zach, he was very high maintenance. He was always hurt. He was very loud and like, it's almost like the squeaky wheel gets the oil, And I wasn't getting that much attention because I was just the easy kid. And a lot of that went into my sense of self-worth. And I could see how that affected many different layers of my life. But I was never aware of that. But on plant medicine, I went up on Wachuma Day to make this little tobacco like pouch thing that you do, that you send healing to people. And then you throw it into this altar space. And there's like a ritual behind it. Wachuma Day is my favorite. It's called San Pedro. It's like a heart-opening medicine. But anyways, I was doing it for my brother. And in that moment, I had that realization, and it blew my mind about when my brother was born. That's when the mother wound started. And my mom, I had an amazing mom, but she also had a mother wound from her mom. So it was like this residual thing that I think happened without awareness. And that then played into many different areas of my life. And I had this big epiphany that my YouTube channel and my desire to put out everything I'm doing in the world is partially because I enjoy it, I love it, I want to help people, but another part of it is I feel like it fills up my cup because I felt unworthy, and it's almost like my YouTube channel is a reflection of the attention that I seek from my mom or that I felt like I didn't get when I was a kid. So I'm filling up a wound based on significance and attention, not even knowing that it's from the childhood wound. And in a way, maybe it was somewhat like maybe in a way it has fueled me to become successful. So it's not always that the mother wound, the father wound is always bad. I have friends that are like females that are very successful that activated a masculine energy because they couldn't trust their dad when they were kids. So in a way, maybe that helped him become successful. But the key is that you want to move beyond that. You want to then just be successful and also maybe be feminine if you're a woman or that's your intention. For me, it was healing that because there was a people pleaser mentality that grew out of that unworthiness and craving of attention. And what I learned to do is I learned to heal that. And as I healed that, man, so much of my life has changed. But anyways, I come back from Costa Rica. I go to Vegas for a week because I'm having my bathroom remodeled here in Sedona. And I go for a week to Vegas. I show some family and stuff like that. My mom's in Oregon, but I chilled with my dad. And I told my dad about some of these insights. And I told him specifically about this one time that I was in plant medicine ceremony, ayahuasca, and I had this memory of around worthiness where that surfaced up that I totally forgot about. But basically, my dad and mom have divorced. When I was 5 or 6 years old, they divorced. Every time I'd come home from my mom's house to my dad's house, my dad would have a toy on our bed. And it was like an action figure. And it was always there every time we came back from our mom's house. But then one time what happened is my dad met my ex-stepmom, who's crazy, and also manipulative, and told him, don't do that, you know. And my dad, the toy stopped. And I had this memory of when I went in my room and there was no toy there. And I thought maybe I'm not worthy. Maybe my dad doesn't love me anymore. And I started questioning things. You know, I'm like 6 years old, 7 years old, so I don't understand. And that was a memory that surfaced up that I would have never really remembered. And what happened is I told my dad about this memory, and he was so blown away about this. And, you know, my dad also has dealt with the ex-stepmom situation because that's his ex-wife. And I made a comment to my dad when I was chilling with him. We chilled for like a couple hours, and I said, I just want you to know, I kind of like told him that basically I said something to him that triggered something in him. And 2 hours later, I'm going back to my house, and he texts me kind of like not a weird text, but he texts me like kind of acknowledging kind of something that opened up from the vulnerability for me sharing this stuff on the plant medicine. And I didn't respond to him right away because I was packing to come back to Sedona. And then he ended up calling me. And on this phone call, we talk, and I explained to him that story about the action figure thing. And my dad's a fire investigator, very analytical, very like by the book. And he says something to me. He says, you know, this, I think it'd be really interesting if you and I went to Costa Rica and did that plant medicine stuff, the ayahuasca. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I was like so shocked. And everyone I told this story to, like all my friends and stuff, they're so surprised because you never know with this plant medicine who it's calling. You know, that was like a big opening thing for me. My dad, like, he wants to release. I think also a part of him recognizes that the trauma from dating my ex-stepmom and his ex-wife has caused him to not date. You know, he's a good-looking 50-something-year-old guy. He could be dating, but he doesn't. He has all these reasonings. He's like, oh, I have this going on. I have this going on. He's got all these things. I told him, I was like, Dad, maybe these are like deflections, or, you know, maybe you're just like creating your own hole, your own aloneness, you know? And he started opening up something in him. So he is coming to Costa Rica to do plant medicine. And I never would have saw my dad do that, ever. It is so mind-blowing to me. It's still, to this day, is shocking. But anyways, it's like a very surprising thing, but I think it is just so cool. I'm so excited. So in November this year, that's the plan. If it's not November, then eventually. But he is, in a way, given me his word that he will come do the plant medicine. And I could not be more excited. I think it's going to be so healing for both of us. And, you know, him really clearing out the energy of my ex-stepmom that's in his field. You know, it's cool too, because his last payment to my ex-stepmom, my youngest sister just turned 18. So I think he's got one or two more like child alimony payments or whatever you call it, you know, which is nice. You know, my ex-stepmom is so manipulative and crazy that she claims that she makes like $30K a year because she has like a business that she's very successful at, but she pays herself like almost no money, and she does it under the table so that to court she's able to like get more money. So my dad's been paying her a lot of money for a long time, and it's like a very energetic thing for him to close out that cycle. And I think that this will be so good for him. I think plant medicine is going to change his life and open up something in him too. And the other interesting thing is he's going to be around and see what I do, running retreats. He doesn't really understand, I think, what I do, and maybe like you know, he doesn't understand. It'll be interesting for him to see me leading, you know, a retreat with my buddy Victor, and of course, it's other shaman and stuff, but like he'll be able to see this whole side of my life that I don't think he's ever seen before. And he'll see also like the people that follow my stuff, like the subscribers coming in, and it'll, how we all connect together. And by like the third or fourth day, we feel like family, but he'll get to see this like me in action in a way that's going to be interesting as well. I hope you guys enjoyed that little segment from my podcast called the Aaron Doughty Podcast. If you want to listen to the rest of that episode, click the link below. You'll see it on iTunes and Spotify. You can download episodes. It's so easy to listen to. You can do it while you're working out, while you're driving. It's so convenient. And that's where new episodes go live every Tuesday and Thursday every single week. I have guests coming on the podcast. I have solo episodes, and we go really deep. This is really a place where I get very personable and I share more about things I'm thinking of. I share my top book insights, and you can check it out and subscribe below, and you will see it there. So iTunes, Spotify, listen to the rest of the episode below as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace, much love, and namaste.